Okay. Let me see for a bit. So, let me get that on the face for a bit. So, today I was thinking I 1v1 one of my friends, and I officially said, hey buddy, like, and he hasn't played a long time as well. I was like, yo, I mean, I actually shared him like the 5 tips of how to actually get better at the game. So then now that I've shared it to him, I was thinking about showing it to you guys. So then you guys know it forever, and I will know it forever too. Just like this. So, number 5, what I'm going to probably show you, which is probably going to be a link in the description. I'll put like timestamps and all that, is knowing your controls, or at least key binding for a bit, or at least like fixing your controls for a bit. And I don't really mean fixing, I mean like retweaking your controls, because sometimes normally a shift key kind of cramps up your pinky finger, or normally it cramps up your finger sometimes, because like the shift key is not exactly like the best key to be able to like idly using upon. That's why I kind of switched it to shift to Z, and I moved all the other keys around too. So like I have ESDF, which is my movement option keys that I use for the game itself. And by that, what I use for that is basically just kind of use it to slide around. I usually use Z a lot, of course, because, that's usually for slide hopping and all of that. So, number 4, I like to show it to you, or should I just say it to you, is either play against players that are better than you, or, let's see, what's the other one? What's the other one I can show you? Of course, play against better players. That's like an obvious one, of course, but I wanted to like combine it all together with like words. I was gonna leave one for the last. What else? Oh yes, switching your weapons or very often. So, have you ever noticed that sometimes whenever you're playing a game and you're just like going against opponents, and all of a sudden your ammo runs out and you're like, oh fuck, well guess what, I have like literally nothing, right? Well, in some scenarios your main gun is not always the option. You might be like, oh well, I mean, this sniper right here can be used to like one ding somebody. Okay, yeah, sure, but for like distance wise, that'd be good. However, there's usually I think the sniper is actually good for literally any situation almost. Like close, whether it be close, medium, or even long ranges. But for other weapons, like the Vince, I would say like maybe use pistol whenever you decide to waste like 2 more shots. And if you can get like real good at like switching your weapon or switching from your knife every now and then that'd be cool as well. Cause you really need to like start switching these weapons every now and then, so then you can really try to get better at playing against opponents. Plus, it kind of gives you the better momentum as well, at least for the knife, or it gives you better sense of movement and momentum as well. So like switching weapons, switching weapon often is more likely of a good thing if you're probably in a pact of like 1v1s, or if you're in a site of like literally no people at all. But even that, you can still use your knife at almost any scenario unless you see your opponent. So yeah, let's see. So number 3, using classes that you don't really use that often. And yes, this can include like any other weapons like hunter, crossbow, can range to like fully automatic weapons as well if you don't really use them that much. Like it can range to almost anything. Like let's see, semi-auto is like it's like my least used weapon. And I don't really try it as much, but normally I would think of trying it because it's, well, you know, many people say it's good, and it's like, all right, well, you know, you don't always have to follow people's like motto saying like, okay, you know, it's pretty good, you know, it's a pretty good weapon, you know, you should actually kind of try it, or, you know, because like usually trying to follow with that it's not really following on depth of it, you know, it's not too in depth as of like you using other classes that you really haven't done and trying them instead of like not really trying them for 2 more years or a century. Then you can kind of get the better sense of everyone's experience with that weapon, or with your own experience for that matter. Like you can kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say for this, especially because you know, just using a sniper all the way is like, you know, sure, you can do like dinks, you can do like 360s and all that, but sometimes it's just good to be able to just switch out to another class that you barely use often and you don't really give much appreciation to. So for number 2, well, I think number 2 can actually be somewhat like a bonus thing. So, you know, like your reload button, right? Like you have your reload button, right? But also you can make it like an inspect too. So reload plus inspect, you can do this by I'm pressing a reload button, and when your ammo is full, it usually just inspects your weapon. So, you know, wrong keys. So this can actually quite help you out a bit more and all that. Okay, so actually number 2, that was 2.5. Now number 2, I would say like, what was I gonna say? Change your settings, like change your view model or something like that. Or basically just change your settings on how you want to light of your own liking. Like at least test them in like in a private room, so then you can have like a full experience of what's happening, and if it doesn't work for you, then just like, you know, switch it back, or like just experiment with your settings is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, number 1, and you know, I can't say this well enough, and you might get confused of how I say this, but consistency. Consistency in almost any game is almost as prevalent. So what do I mean by consistency? Like what are you meaning by this? What are you trying to get the meaning of this of? Well, I mean like a consistency of everything, like almost your life, Like, literally you trying to aim. Like, consistency as a whole in this game. Like, you can, like, you don't have to play the game every day to get consistent. I'm gonna just say that right now. Like, people are all like, oh yeah, people play like every 24 hours, you know, they don't sleep, they must be cracked, you know? But that's not the case. People play like, sure, they play all crazy, they play all cracked, they're all like, oh yeah, you know, that's, you know, pretty cool or whatever. However, that doesn't mean that they play like 24-hour, 24/7, you know, in playing the game. It doesn't really mean that at all. Like, you can have a very good schedule and still play the game pretty well. Like I would recommend like maybe playing 10 minutes a day, so that way you don't have to frustrate yourself having to play at least an hour, like almost like after an hour when you're kind of like not getting the whole consistency down. Like, if you're not aiming well, you're not like doing any of that, then you can just kind of take a break on it for a bit, you know. You know, scheduling too, it's also like part of consistency as well. So, you know, if you want to, you can like choose yourself to play like in this time span, like every day. Then I'm sure that you will get better as time goes on. So that's all I kind of have to say. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll be able to get this message. Okay, bye.